3, 2. Okay, what's going on?
Coming in, flex. I just wanna win, LABB, who we running with,
Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well and staying safe. Today is not a good day. I woke up, had a nightmare, didn't really get to have breakfast, but that's not important because today I'm about to share with you the one secret to selecting the right institution when you're planning your studies abroad. And you might be wondering, how do I do that? You use Google Maps. And that's what exactly I'm going to show you step by step as to how to use Google Maps to see what your institution looks like, what the surrounding of your institution looks like, and most importantly, decide if it's in the right location for you. Also, if you're new to the channel, my name is Z, and I make videos for international students planning on coming to Canada as an international student. I've made videos on scholarship programs, I made videos on how to get part-time jobs. There's more coming. Check them out. They're really helpful. That's what people say. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I'll plant a tree for every subscribe and like, I promise. Alright, back to location. I've been honestly preaching from day one how location is one of the most important factors to consider. Of course, there are other factors that can be important, but location is definitely one factor that you need to take into account when you're deciding on the university or the college you want to study at. So here are 4 reasons why location is such an impact. Here are 4 reasons why location is so important. Number 1, great for your end goal. I talked about it in my previous videos. Your end goal when you're an international student is not to get that certificate of graduation. It doesn't really matter what you get. It's the end result of your education. Did you get a job? Did you get to start a business? Did you start a successful career? Did you get the job that you wanted? So what's the one thing that gets you the job or the career that you want? Opportunities. So if you're in a busier area, if you're in a better location, you're going to be exposed to more opportunities. And those opportunities are going to help you land the job that you want or start the business that you wanted. A more developed city exposes you to more opportunities. And the more opportunities you have, the more jobs you can apply for or more connections you can make. The other thing about a great location is that a busier city offers a lot of business networking events, and in those networking events you will get to meet a lot of people and build your network so that when you graduate you can reach out to those people and start talking to them so that they can actually help you map out a plan so you can land the job that you always wanted. If you're exposed to the same kind of people who are at the same level as you, you're never going to grow because you don't have that perspective of how to live a better life. If you have someone who lives a better life than you, you're going to look up to them and you're going to be like, I want to be like that. And if you're not surrounded or don't have the opportunity to be around those people, you're never going to get that perspective and your growth will actually become stagnant. So you want to be in an environment, in a location where people are busy applying for jobs, they're progressing in their career. So let's say, for example, you are in a university or a college location where it's only students around that area. Then it's basically a bunch of students who are studying all the time and there's not a lot of opportunities going on or not a lot of students moving up the ladder in terms of their career growth. But if you're in a busy city, you can just take a 10-minute walk from the university and be exposed to business environments where you meet employers or you meet other people who are employed in a certain industry that you want to be working at. And once you meet those people, you see that these people are 10 steps ahead of you. Let's say you're in second year now and these guys already graduated and they're in a job and they're doing great in life and you want to become them. So it kind of pushes you and motivates you to do better, and that's how you focus on your career growth. And of course, with a better city comes a better lifestyle and better security and more options. So by more options, I mean, let's say you're in a smaller city, there could be 10 businesses. Guess what? When you graduate, only 3 out of those 10 businesses might be hiring. Now let's say you go to a bigger city where there are hundreds of businesses, now you have more chances and more options to apply. So that's why a better location that's a bit busier helps you to get more exposed to opportunities. Okay, so enough talk. So how do you know you're looking at the right location? Pop up Google Maps. Okay, so for this first one, we're going to use McGill University as an example to see if it's in the right location. So we're going to go to Google Maps and you type in McGill University. And the first thing you want to look at is the proximity to downtown from the university. So you want to look at, okay, where is Montreal downtown? You zoom out and look. So this is actually Montreal downtown. You see? Montreal pops up right here. That means it's downtown. Or you can also just go on the search bar and look up downtown Montreal. Look at that. It's literally right there. So the closer the institution is to downtown, the better. So now you want to see how close it is really to downtown. Like, can you see the office buildings and all that stuff? Also remember, downtown is the busiest area of a city. It's where all the office buildings are. It's where all the businesses are. Now what you want to do is you want to drop this little guy here into, let's say, any street close to the university. And look at that. We are in downtown. Just when you see tall buildings like that, you know that you're in downtown. And You know what this means? So this means businesses. So the more tall buildings there are means there are more businesses in that area. And if there are more businesses, there are more job opportunities. So if you're ever planning to go to Bangla University, it will be a great choice. Also, it's a great way to just look at what the surrounding of your institution looks like, just to get a good idea of setting first expectations, right? Like, let's say you're going to come to the university, you would set a place that you want to go to or take a walk by, and it just really helps you get familiar with the city. Okay, so seeing downtown buildings is cool, but you need to know how saturated are the buildings. Like, is it just one street of tall buildings and that's it? Or are there multiple streets full of tall buildings? So it's definitely not just one street that's full of tall buildings, so there's more than that, and that's a great thing. So you don't want to be in a city that only has one strip that has tall buildings and has businesses in that strip. So one of the things you want to know is, what is it like to walk around? So you're just going to basically go back to search, and then you go and grab this guy and drop him, let's say here. So look at that. Now you're in a park where people are walking. That's exactly what you're looking for. It's just small markets where people are just going out for an evening walk with family and everybody. And it's always nice to have that. It just has that social vibe instead of everyone always working and just rushing to work. And that's exactly what you want.
Now, another thing you want to look at is, are there lots of tourist spots in the city? And if there are, it's a great thing. That means you're always going to have a diverse population, different kinds of people coming into the city, and the city's always going to be bumping. The more tourist spots are there, the more restaurants, the more activity is going to be going on in the city, and it's just more entertaining to live in that city. If there's nothing to see in the city, guess what? It's going to be boring, first of all, and there's not going to be anything new to do, and there's nowhere to go when you're bored. You also want to look at if these tourist locations are of any interest to you. Is it only parks that the city has to offer? Are there like nice places to see? Are there any museums in the city? Are there any beaches in the city? Are there any waterfront places?
You just go on Google and you look up places to see in Montreal, because that's where Bangla University is. Sometimes you'll find yourself like through extremely hectic times, and all you want is to just pull the plug and take a break just by taking a walk by the beach or go hiking with friends.
And one of the other things is you will get to hang out with people, which your parents would definitely not recommend, but in the initial phase, it's really important that you go out to restaurants, hang out with as many people, and engage in a coffee chat and all that, so that you can build connections and just have that social life balance. Then basically you want to go and check the campus architecture. Does the campus architecture inspire you? Does it motivate you to study? Are there lots of common spaces? Look up the university, drop the little guide, and just basically explore. Next thing you want to be looking at is how far restaurants or grocery stores are from your campus. The closer a grocery store is, the better. So let's say middle of the night you're super hungry. Imagine there are no grocery stores or no restaurants around the campus that you were in. You're gonna be starving if you don't have any food at home. So it's always nice to have a grocery store that's like a 5-minute walk or 10-minute walk away, or a restaurant that's open 24/7 like a McDonald's or a Subway. And if there's not any grocery stores or like a restaurant, it's not a good thing. So it's always nice to have a grocery store in close proximity so you can just go buy food quickly and come back without wasting any time. There could be a grocery store that's an hour away, but doing that hour trip will make you waste a lot of your time. So the point of this is basically to use Google Maps to get familiar with the city even before you get there, so you're not intimidated by the unfamiliarity of the city once you get there. All of that will account for a better lifestyle that you will have as a student. And of course, once you see all these places, it will get you excited and make you look forward to your trip. Okay, one thing here to note is not all institutions are located right in downtown, but the maximum that you can go for is a 10 to 15 minutes drive or a bus ride from downtown. Sometimes it's good to stay just a bit far away from downtown because you want to be able to stay away from the buzz of the city so that you can focus on your studies. Because if there's so much to do when you're in a busy city, you're going to get distracted. So it's better to just be a little far away so that you're focused on your studies and just go to downtown during the weekends just to have fun, or just at nighttime if you want to take a trip. Listen, if you don't pick the right institution in the right location, honestly, you're going to end up getting frustrated and end up lonely. And that's the last thing that you want when you travel all the way from a different country to a new country as an international student and spending all that money just to end up being frustrated. That's not what you want. It will actually affect your optimism and your potential because you start getting those negative thoughts, thinking that you're not accepted here and life is not the same that you expected. And most importantly, your time will be wasted because you could be doing so much more with that time if you were in a busy city. I keep saying this all the time. The goal is to expose yourself to as many opportunities as you can. And if you go to a smaller city, that doesn't have any opportunities to offer in the first place, guess what? You're gonna be stuck. And the only one to blame will be you. So don't just go to a cheaper university or college trying to save money. Make sure you note if it's in a good location. Honestly, it's better to spend a couple more $1,000s and go to a university or college that's in a better location and eventually getting a job that will pay off in the long run than to go to a cheap institution that's in a bad location and you don't end up with any job at all. And that's all you get from me today. I'll appreciate it if you let me know in the comments what you think of the video. And that's my exit. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao. Wait, just before you leave, I also want to show you where the nightclubs are. So you basically go into Google Maps and type